How we evolved as humans has fascinated generations of thinkers, and even more interesting and controversial is how human nature has evolved. What is uniquely human in terms of how we think, act and behave, and at what stage in development did this actually occur? Perhaps not surprisingly, some of the most fascinating findings are coming from the study of our evolutionary cousins, the chimpanzees. Tetsuro Matsuzawa of the Primate Research Institute at Kyoto University in Japan is renowned for his work on chimp intelligence, and his findings will amaze you.
I'm really interested in the evolutionary basis of human nature. What is unique?
Working with some chimpanzees for more than 3 decades now, and you've got this fabulous facility in Japan that replicates their natural environment in Africa. How do you get the chimpanzees to actually participate in the research activities?
Completely based on their free will. So when I want to test I chimpanzee, I just call her name I. Why don't you come? When I really need Akira, the boyfriend of I call the name Akira.
Do they often refuse?
No, definitely not. In the case of my graduate students, sometimes they refuse to come.
In Tetsuro's work in Africa, he found a group of chimpanzees that's believed to be the only one in the world which uses stone tools.
Just like Japanese use a chopstick to eat raw fish, but you Australians or some other countries, people do not use a pair of sticks as a tool.
So the stone is a tool that's specific to their environment. You've also been working on this thing called working memory. Tell us what working memory is.
In other words, short-term memory. Say 81805686266909. Can you repeat it?
26909. There were some ones, there were some eights. Other than that, it's gone from my memory.
Yeah. So this kind of memory is called short-term memory. In a short period, you can remember a couple of numbers. So how many numbers? And how short duration is good enough? Or how long interval you can remember it?
So you've been doing this with the chimps?
Yes, because I recognize that there is an extraordinary capability in chimpanzees to memorize things at a glance. So this is a huge difference between humans and chimps.
How did you first notice it?
Actually, it is by accident. I just continue teaching the sequence of numerals to the chimpanzees. Most of them have learned to touch the numerals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the ordinary sequence.
So most of the chimps know the Arabic numbers 1 to 5 and can put them in the right sequence. So essentially they can count. But you've found that they also understand what those numbers mean. So you can give them one pencil and they'll point to the number 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes.
The thing is, humans need the numbers to be on the screen for longer than chimpanzees. Most of us need the numbers on the screen for around 5 seconds.
In human cases, they take, say, 5 seconds, 6, 7, 8 seconds to memorize the position of numerals to do the right answer. But I was so amazed, chimps are so quick. Actually, the current performance is 0.5 second.
10 times faster than humans.
Half a second.
And the study shows that humans can't do that.
Yes. Well, I tested so many students, all of them very prestigious university student, but they cannot beat the young chimpanzees. So all of them cannot reach to the level of 3 young chimpanzees.
Tetsuro says this working memory helps chimpanzees navigate in African forests and do a number of things they couldn't otherwise do.
Chimps love to eat figs, but red ripe one, tasty. green, unripe one, not tasty. And the fig tree is huge. So at a look, you have to find where are the red ones. And even more, you have to find the top ranking male, second ranking male, third ranking male, because near the dominant males, you cannot eat figs. So at a look, you have to make a quick decision.
So knowing what fig you can eat safely involves some really complex decision making. Tetsuru says humans lost this skill because we needed to do other things more. That is, we needed the big story rather than the details. He says one of the major things that differentiated us from the chimps, and this might explain the evolutionary split, is how we use tools.
Our ancestors invented the capability of making tool by another tool. So this is called nesting structure. Tools for tools for tools. So we have a deep nesting structure of the things.
And chimps never do that.
No.
So one day an ape is born and it has this knowledge and it's better able to survive. And then after generations of evolution, patterns following patterns, we have humans?
Yes. The other aspect is language for language. For example, we have the language like nouns, adjectives, to describe our own language. We have the communication, about communication. So all those things, so recursive structure or nesting structure reflecting ourselves, that is very much uniquely human.
So the ability to reflect upon ourselves is solely human, but do apes have language?
I say no. I do not deny that chimpanzee can learn hundreds of signs, but that language is quite different from what we call human language, because human language has the sentence, syntax, and the nesting structure, what I mentioned. The important point is we have the language and they may not have the language, but this time what I wanted to tell the people is they have extraordinary working memory. We do not have it. So we are different but equal. We are not superior to chimpanzees.